Here we are again. I don't know about you, but the week is going by really fast each week. And that means that spring will be here soon. I have seen people showing pictures of snowdrops and daffodils, but all I've seen is a bit of sun and snow. Well, snowflakes. Not much snow, really. But other people have had it. And Sarah, our third daughter, little Lenny, 2 years old, had his first experience. You should have seen his face. It was so special. Anyway, another week. It's very interesting that I'm having Pink Floyd lyrics floating through my brain each week. Well, they're so archetypal, and certainly in my life, I mean, the number of times I've sat in an audience or in a studio and listened to it being created or performed, it's not surprising it would be coded into my brain and my heart. So it's floating around in there is we're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl year after year, running round over the same old ground. Have we found the same old fears? There's a lot of fear around at the moment, and it's incredibly important for us to not get trapped in the spin. And there are ways, because basically your soul calls you to look for pleasure, to enjoy life, to enhance your life. And everything, it might sound a bit hard, but everything that you think reality is, you've created, which means you can change it. So, how do we do that? We often talk about the nature of the mind and how it's here to help that process. So it's really down to observing and seeing, what are you watching? What are you thinking? What kind of information are you gathering, and what is it doing for you? You know, there's some other lyrics I can read to you to make sure I've got it right, and it's the song Time. So, bear with me. Ticking away the moments that make up a dull day, you fritter and waste the hours in an offhand way, kicking around on the piece of ground in your hometown, waiting for someone or something to show you the way. Tired of lying in the sunshine? Well, maybe. Staying home to watch the rain? I love the rain. You are young and life is long, and there is time to kill today, especially during COVID. And then one day you find 10 years have got behind you and no one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun. So, I don't know about you, but certainly we have a very superficial reality to life. And, if someone was telling you what you had to do, you wouldn't necessarily put up with it because you'd think it's slavery. But there is another type of slavery that we're all living, one that's a bit more subtle, and that's the thoughts that you were told how to think. And that's it, as I said, it's so subtle. And the way, well, depends on the person. I was going to say the way to unravel that, at least for me, was to focus on seeing beauty, smiling in the morning, having meditation discipline, but most of all, knowing that I could control the situation. That I knew that deep in my heart, love was my quest. Beauty was my quest. Friendship was my quest. Unity, service, brought happiness. In one of my meditations this week, which I had a quick live in the early part of the week, it said to me, embrace your bliss. And it occurred to me that how many of you know what bliss is? I think we all search for happiness. And then, if you achieve a certain degree of peace in your life, if your body health was pleasant, you'd receive a certain degree of pleasure. And if your mind was pleasant, that's where you might experience joy and peace. Then, the part you might really like is if your emotions are feeling pleasant, then you feel love and compassion. Excuse me. Bliss comes in generally if your life is feeling pleasant, that you've achieved a degree of love and pleasure and compassion. That's when bliss sort of starts coming. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's not possible. We focus on our limitations more than we focus on the potential of who we are, what we can be. And it isn't that we're all going to pass over and go to heaven. Well, you might, if it really exists. Most of all, why don't we create heaven on earth? Because who knows, maybe this is heaven. And maybe heaven has challenges. There's something I saw on one of the many wonderful YouTubes I watched this week that was talking about this. And I wrote it down to show you. And here it is. Is this not what we say quite often? Do you see it? I'm trying to see if you see it. Hello, there it is. That's the word. Up. Come on, up, Ginger Gilmour. Okay. So, how many of us think it's impossible to do all kinds of things? And then, this is what I want you to think about. That. Can you let go of the I am and make it I am possible? It is possible. It's really about, instead of making something a problem and a limitation, find out how you can make it a possibility. So with that, I am going to look at who's here and if anyone has anything they want to ask me. Let's look and see. So everyone is here, all my favorite regulars, and they're all saying hello to everybody else. Nice to see you all here. Rebecca's saying that I look very warm and cozy. Yep, it's cold outside in England. Chadrika, have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Some people from Chile. I'd like to go there one day. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Danny from Holland, Verpy. Yep, I bet it's cold there. And Doreen, hello. She's sending love from California desert, and I'm sure very warm, and sunshine, and lots of love because she's one of my very, 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 very dear friends. Then we have Isabel and Erica and Sylph, Lori. Echoes runs through my head every so often. Million bright ambassadors of the morning. Yeah, that's good. Rebecca, Illinois, USA, 30, minus 30 wind chill. Gosh, they did say on the news that America's getting a lot of snow. And then Cannon learned the lyrics from Metal all the way to the wall. Yeah. Tony, I think you don't see the whole series, the whole circumstances, and I appreciate you not bringing it up on right now. Thank you very much. It's very complicated. Erica, yes, we can achieve bliss while being alive. Not the place for that. Quite. Thank you, Laurie. Juliet loves bliss. It evokes feelings of calm, love, and happiness with me. I can feel my shoulders relax, in fact. Well, it'll do a lot more when you keep approaching it. Wait till you see your artwork that comes from it. Thank you, Dawn. Yvonne, you are so right, as above, so below, but it's sometimes hard for me not to get trapped into all the fears around me as I am an empath. Yes, I know the feeling. Watching your weekly live always encourages me to stay positive or search my way back to beauty. Hi, Paul. Yvonne, I think it's important for us to talk about being an empath, because it isn't something so different than the potential of being a human, but it's been downplayed for centuries, actually. And it's just coming out now that it is a virtue. But because consciousness is evolving, and more people will be having this experience, but there's very little training out there that concerns us and help. So because humanity's on the edge of a new era, it's like a lotus flower. It doesn't judge the mud, because somewhere in their heart they know they're rising. The flower, the beauty, is rising above and going through the mud. So somewhere, I know in myself, somewhere it's like walking a tightrope across a chasm of fire. Because there's the fire of consciousness that you're touching and learning this physical body to simulate it and your emotions and all. And then the outside energy is spinning around amongst people. And I would imagine you feel a bit isolated sometimes. I remember it well. And there are things that you could learn to do that we can talk about if you want to message me. Tools that you can do. I've gone through different phases of them. And it's really lovely that my reality now is becoming more and more centered in the place that the empath seems to think is somewhere different. Humanity has amazing potential. This body is such a machine of greatness. And you know, it's we haven't even read the user manual. We don't really know how to really control and direct our thoughts and our emotions. It goes wild. But I know that we can do it. And I'm happy to help you if you so desire. Rebecca says that she felt bliss one time staring at Mount Rainier for the first time, wrapped in the arms of my husband. Lovely. And we had a life goal and desire to stand there and behold it. And it was such a proud moment. We had gone from homeless drug addicts to sober, happy, and hardworking parents. You know, I think that people take drugs and are addicts and even shopaholics and even dressing and putting up a false mask. And the reason being is they're all looking for the pleasure and the pleasantness of life. And I'm really happy that you found your bliss. It's yeah. I like that, Donald. Nothing is impossible, but everything is possible. Yes. Hi, Donald. Hi, Janie. Question for me. Ginger, how do you turn a problem or a limitation into a possibility? I know I always have difficult questions. Verby, that's not a difficult question. It's just, will take a while to answer the whole thing. I think that we're coded, programmed into focusing on the limitations and in the judgments and the judgments, particularly of ourselves. And that's the thing that we have to get past, is find the way to see the beauty in you, in life. And some people find it really hard. Some people are very attracted to the dark aspects of life, and that's when you have to start. It's doesn't happen overnight, but you have to seek the beauty. You can't the mind is such that you can't. Well, you can try. I'm not going to think those thoughts anymore. And you can try to purposely put in new thoughts, but they'll come back. What really works is giving yourself an experience. It's different, and then the mind will say, that's really great. I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to hang out there. Temptation is all around us. We have to be tempted by the beauty of life. And once you have that dominating more, it'll be like being on the beach and feeling the soft water around you as you're diving. I feel like I am on a beach. Well, this summer, it was really hot. I couldn't go anywhere, isolated, so I sat outside with the sun, and there were little birds chirping away with my eyes closed. I'd been in Greece so much that it was like I was there, because the feeling of the heat, the smell of whatever flower was around in the air, and the birds, it was like I was there. So that's what I do. I let that invisible aspect of beauty come to me, into my heart. And there's something else that we forget about. Actually, we don't even probably know, is that there is also a divine heart in every one of us. And if you spend a lot of time in fear and judgment and criticism, even blame of people outside of you, it won't change until you change that in you. And when that changes and the greatness of life comes to you more and more, then it changes the problem into the possibilities, because everything's possible when you're in that place, when it becomes more your reality, when you believe in yourself and you just say, okay, I'm going to go for it. The moment you do that, all kinds of things open up for you. New boundaries are made. Let's see what other I am possible. Exactly, Lori. It's really good play, isn't it? Okay, Verby, she wants to know how it works on the practical level. Well, I would suggest you make a list. Make a list of what you think throughout the day. what things you look at throughout the day. And then come back to me next week and tell me on a practical level what you discovered. And Juliet says that she always thinks love wins over anything awful, negative, mean, or evil. Yeah. Did you realize that the reason why anything exists on this planet is because of love on the esoteric level? It's what unites everything. And it's our mind, our imagination, that creates, that uses, directs that love. And most of humanity are unconscious about that. That's why I keep saying that create, and beautify. Because it starts changing the molecular aspect, and it's love that we work with. So you can have love, deep love in a relationship, and seek for a very sacred bonding, or you just do it in your artwork, in the art of living, in the art of relationships. And it isn't just on the personality level that love works. So let's see how you people are doing down there. Juliet said that it was so amazing last summer. I know exactly what you mean. The scent of the roses and the warmth of the sun. Close our eyes and imagine. Imagine all the people living a world of peace. You might say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Thank you, Verpi. I really am happy to greet you every week, both here and on Matthew's Live. So what do you think you have found swimming in your fishbowl year after year? There is a teacher who isn't alive right now, called Gurdjieff. And he was a guardian of souls, more from an intellectual side of things for people that are on the path on a more mental polarized thing. I'm a bit more on a heartful side, the teachers I've gravitated towards, or they gravitated towards me. And his wife resisted and resisted and resisted all their lives together, and it was the last moment. He never gave up. And in his teachings, his writings, he's talked about it, that it can be the last moment that you touch that place, and then your life served your sole purpose. I want to really enjoy this life. I don't want to go around just existing, going day to day, same old. And you don't have to have that. You can do little things to change your focus. Even just the way that you clean your dishes and how you vibrate with them with love and then put them away, and everything has a quality. of love radiates, and it changes things. I really hope the best. Erica has something to say. I know a lot of people who only focus on the positive, and it comes from a good place in their hearts, but I think it can be just as harmful. How does someone keep seeing beauty everywhere from turning into pretending that there aren't bad things in the world? Hang on, Seymour. Bad things in the world, and it's not doing it. Yes, that was it. Well, I know what you mean, because you're right. The thing about thinking about the positive so much, and there's a difference between using it to run away. The bad isn't necessarily bad, so to speak. It's there for you to transform and face it. It melts. Once you see what is the highest aspect of what the bad might be, then it dissolves. So it's, the more that some people think, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, you know what happens? You start thinking you gotta kill all the bad. You have to judge, you judge people, you judge yourself, and that the bad's bad. Or you just run away from it. You can't. You have to find the balance between it. And that place that's beyond being positive doesn't judge. It's one with everything. It's so hard to articulate it. I'm trying to think. Let me ponder it a little bit more and see what else. Rebecca, is it bad to be content in your fishbowl? No. You can be a happy little goldfish swimming around. You don't have, but some people are swimming around lost, and they think that I want to get out of here and get into the big wide open ocean, but they don't think there is one. Or maybe they don't even know there's one. But there's a memory in that goldfish. Mind you, goldfish don't come from the ocean. They're not seawater worthy. But they do get bigger. I had some that I put into a bigger pond here, and they got quite big. But Isabel, you have the choice to focus on things that's important to you. The more you focus on good things, the less importance bad things have. Yep. And also, if you focus on things that you actually love, brings pleasantness to you. So many people are doing things to try to get attention from someone, approval from someone, but there's a difference when you live that something that you do for you. You might still be going to work and doing a job. You can love your job as the way that you did when you on the first day on your new job. And then do something. Today, I think I'm going to have this for lunch. Doesn't have to be a great something. Or today, I'm going to have a flower in my hair. Hi, Richard. My youngest Daisy has her birthday. Happy birthday, Daisy. So happy you could be here. I love birthdays. Our kids, I would have a birthday party for just the children with their sister or brother in the morning before school. And then afterwards, we'd have another party with all their friends and other relatives that would come over. So we made it a day that they were born, and we were happy that that had happened. Stefan, I can believe what you're saying by just your paintings. Love of nature and all that it gives to us is something I'm really discovered over the last year. It's wonderful. I love looking at your posts, I have to say. You bring a lot of beauty of nature to us every day. Juliet, let's see what she's saying. When my life changed dramatically last year, I was scared, really scared. I've now learned to embrace that change. You've helped me with that, Ginger. I think it was perhaps meant to happen. Well, I have found when things like that happen, they're actually opportunities to break through, not break down. And it's our way of looking at them. When I didn't know that they were opportunities, I panicked. And I still get scared from time to time in the unknown of what's going to happen. But generally speaking, what fuels my own belief of life is the fact that there are opportunities, and there's always something beautiful as one door closes. And another opens, and you just have to, once you start thinking from that viewpoint of breakthrough instead of breakdown, things really change. I remember one of my cycles of going into the unknown. It took 6 months of being patient for something new to come. And in a way, COVID is doing that for us too. It's like humanity has to go through this other process of unwinding, getting away from the distractions, because there aren't the same distractions anymore. The only distraction I have is which room are you going to sit in today, and which artwork are you going to work on? Or what are you going to have for lunch today? Interesting, the unknown of the COVID unknown. And I can feel something really special for humanity, for all of us. But we have to be patient and wait. And work on you. Create you and be prepared to shine different than before. Angela says she loves Juliet Burfield flower in my hair. Yeah. I was coming back from Hawaii, haven't been there for a while. Juliet, Doreen, you'll remember this one. And you always wear a flower in your hair. Everyone wears a flower. Well, the women do. Well, some of the men wear a flower in their hair. I was there long enough to begin that it was normal. And then I left Hawaii and I was in San Francisco for the night. And I heard that song, if you come to San Francisco, make sure you wear a flower in your hair. But that was in the 60s, wasn't it? When everyone was peace, love, and flowers. And when I got there, it felt weird. People look at you if you have a flower in your hair. I had to be fearless, and particularly when I got to England. Mom, you're putting a flower in your hair. Yep. I thought about putting a flower in my hair today, and I just remembered that I forgot. Why don't we all wear a flower next week? That would be fun. I agree. I'll have to take a few off my hats because there isn't any in my garden right now. Erica says something big and good is going to happen after all of this. I just know it. Keep on that vibe, girl. We're creating the vision. Donald. Thank you, Donald. He says, if you listen to Ginger and you follow her, she would help you with her blessings. Ginger, you have inspired me from wrong to be doing right. I thank you, Ginger, for being there for me. We are blessed. Donald, it's even more than going from wrong to right. It's about you knowing how wonderful you are as a person. And if you ever did anything wrong, it's only because you were searching for it. And now, I believe you found it. And I hope your operation that's coming up goes well. Please keep me there. Thank you, Doreen. I do remember the beautiful Haiu on Maui, and I took you there, and we loved it many more times, and these weekly talks remind me of that love to all. Yeah, it was a very special time together, I have to say, and all the rainbows. And you know, it's the aloha. The thing I discovered by being there longer is that the aloha is very deep. It's very deep in their culture, and the kindness and the love that that word resonates is truly, truly wonderful, even at the airports. And I love them covering you with flowers as you come off the airplane. I don't know if they're doing that right now, but it's a wonderful experience. Richard, might be easier if I could put a few hairs in my flowers. You have an ear, so you could put a flower just there. I want to see that. Okay, we're doing it. Juliet's giggling, but we're going to put flowers in our hair next week. Yay! Verby said she was still living her former life in the 60s as a hippie in San Francisco. Wow, I've always felt drawn there into the music of that era, and also to London, and there I visited once, hoping to visit someday again when the world is back, or the new world has come, if ever it will be. Well, hang on a minute, children and friends. I'm doing my live, young lady. I'm on live right now. Goodbye. I thought I put that on silent. I did. She must know how to get past it. Well, there you are. She's meant to be here. Okay. So, Donald, thank you. The procedure surgery is helping me go again on the 19th of February, one more time. And then he is going back to my head next. Well, you won't believe it. We've got 10 minutes again. Well, it's Valentine's Day on the 14th, which I believe is that Sunday. So we can start building up the energy now. We could create love and beauty and stir our food with love. You know, there's some Tibetan monks that walk very slow And with every step, they think love. So, thank you, Erica. It is Sunday. Good. Jessica says to Verpi, go to a human bee in reunion. It's pretty fun. Interesting. That's a good one. Most of us are human doings. We think that what we do will get us there. But actually, it's what we live. What experiences you have in your beingness that gets you there. And that's a really super place. And I talk about my journey in my book, from personal love of when a musician came up to me one day backstage and said, "Hi, I'm David." That was it. I left a film that I was the lead role in and went off on tour with a rock and roll musician, which I went on for a very long time, and it still brings a smile to my face. I'd sooner remember the great times and then transform it into something really special now. Me, myself, and I, and you. Humanity, the future. May we all live and embrace our lives with love. Have a special Sunday. Yes, Erica, there is too much emphasis on doing. But with the technology, say it right, with technology, the boom, we thought it was a bit of grace. Now we have to know how to use it. And most of all, use our imagination, how to use our imagination and not use it towards fantasy. It's like one of the fantasies is that you're doing, whatever you're doing, is going to get you fulfilled in that special place in your heart. And it's the being that does that. But you have to know it's there. So Richard says, when he was young, there was a program on TV that said, if you ask your children to draw a flower, they will likely draw a tulip or a daisy. My brother and sister both drew a tulip. My other brother drew a bag of flour. That's cool. Does he bake now? Oh, that's so cute. Juliet loves that I smile about everything in your life. That's really special. You taught me about that. Thank you. I've had my moments. But when I look through my life, I always seem to get back up, no matter what it was, and kept going. And I'm still doing that, because that's what I think is really important. Well, the Grateful Dead, that must have been a trip. Jessica. The Summer of Love. Now we have a new era of love. And it starts with us embracing the love in our hearts, our divine hearts. And I'm so happy to be here with you all. You help my week, that's for sure. And keep smiling. Everyone has their challenges. One of the toughest ones is when helping a person for many years going in and out of their temptations for conspiracy theories and thinking everything is dark and having a dark energy, to then find that place in themselves and then blow it up. How many times does one have to go on with that person? I think that person has to be let go of and find what it is that's truly beautiful in themselves. And I pray for that person. As I pray for humanity. There's this Sufi saying that, I hope I get it right, if a person knows but wants to know more, a Sufi will help them know more. And if a person doesn't know what it is they need to know, a Sufi will inspire them. But if a person knows and thinks too much that they are the one that knows, but doesn't know, a Sufi has to walk away from that person until humility returns. So, may life continue to be beautiful. And don't forget to wear a flower in your hair and embrace and give virtual hugs and kisses. And thank you for being who you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's time to so long once again. Okay, guys. I'm going to bless you and say happy Valentine's Day every day, always. Have your loving days. Yet again, the new era love days. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Angela. Here we go. Time to push the buttons.